Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about 9 simple, itty bitty baby steps that you can take towards actually living a more simpler, minimalistic lifestyle. Definitely stay till the end of the video because my last tip is going to be the most important tip on this journey as a new beginner, living a more minimalistic lifestyle that's going to help create a habit that's going to make sure that you stay in this journey. You don't want to miss that part. So stay to the end of the video to get that tip. All right, guys, come a little closer. Come. Before we get started, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that way you can see my upcoming videos. Otherwise, you won't know that it's there. All right, now that that's out the way, let's get to number 1. Whatever it is that you want to use to write with, and you're going to actually make down a list of things that you would like to declutter. But as we know, physical items are always the first thing that comes to mind when it comes to declutter. So start with the physical stuff. Go in your house, go room by room, have your list, and say, I want to make sure that the shoes are out of this bedroom. I want to make sure that my office items are being removed. I want to make sure that I reduce the amount of clothes in my closet. Go room by room and actually identify the areas and the things that you would like to declutter. That way, when you start your minimalism journey and living a simpler life, you actually have a strategy. If you go in just blindly just tackling all kinds of clutter, you're going to get worn out and you're going to just feel like this is just too big of a task to take. But if you go room by room and you write down a list, guess what? When you do get tired, you can know, okay, I left off in the bedroom. And once I finish that, I can work my way in the kitchen. That's all it takes. Start with the list. Because if you don't know what the heck you're decluttering, then you're probably still going to have clutter because you don't even know it's there. So do an audit of all the things that you would like to declutter, both mentally and physically. You know, what's the vision? What's the end goal of you doing minimalism? Do you want to save money by not purchasing as much things to declutter and to, actually reduce the amount of stuff that you have in your home? Figure out your why in this journey before you start the journey. In that way, it will actually keep you in the journey. I know that sounded like a tongue twister, but really, if you know what the vision is and you know what the end goal you're looking out of it, it will help you keep you in the journey. Because if you don't really know why you're doing this, you won't stay in the journey of minimalism at all. You'll probably start and it will not continue. It will not be consistent. Number 3, start with the easy stuff. Don't overwhelm yourself by the things that are going to be the most draining mentally and physically for you to declutter. If you know decluttering your bedroom is going to create a lot of stress for you and anxiety and knowing that you have to clean it up and it's going to make you procrastinate, don't start with that project first. Maybe start with the smallest thing. Maybe start with your makeup kit. Maybe you have a makeup bag that's full of makeup you don't use. Start with that. Start with something small. And then as you finish that small project, you'll feel like you have some victory in that area and it'll motivate you to go to the next step. Then go to maybe your shoes. Maybe you want to just reorganize your shoes. Then from there, once you see that's organized, that's going to motivate you to actually say, you know what? Let me do something else and just go little by little so that way it can help build your motivation to actually tackle the biggest thing that you feel is creating most amount of stress in your life. Number 4, actually start off slow. You don't have to rush into this. Minimalism is not a race. It's a journey. So don't try to race yourself into trying to get all of it done in one day. You will burn out and you'll probably end up hating the whole journey of minimalism. It's not going to happen overnight, although it can happen overnight, but I can only imagine what your mental state will be if you try to do that. So start off small. Start off at a small pace. Take your time. Clutter-free zone. That's number 5. You have to make sure that you find a space in your home and you say that this area is a clutter-free zone. Once you label that area as a clutter-free zone, you make sure that no matter what's going on, that area stays clean, no matter what. Once you are able to do that, then an actual coffee table that's clutter-free will lead to a bedroom that's clutter-free. Then once you've mastered the endurance of doing that, you're going to move on to other parts of the house, and you're going to make the living room a clutter-free zone. Then it's going to lead to a kitchen-free zone, then the bathroom-free zone. Then guess what? In the end, you're going to end up with a minimalistic home where you don't have to worry about that because you already built the endurance on actually keeping those spaces clean. Don't get me wrong. We're not perfect. I'm definitely not perfect. I still have moments where clutter build up with stupid stuff like actual mail. Darn it, I can't stand those mail. They actually get on my nerve. Junk mail, all of that stuff. So I try my best to actually get rid of those before they come in the house. But sometimes you don't do it fast enough and they build up. So making sure that you label an area as clutter-free zone. Start off with that and work your way. Number 6, guys, is taking the guilt out of actually decluttering. I know you guys are going to be wondering what I'm talking about, but trust me, it's an issue because a lot of times people are decluttering, even myself, and they'll come across something that maybe a friend gave them or a grandmother gave them that meant so much to them, and they gave it to you, and you're like, oh man, I don't even use this thing. It's just catching dust. It's not even something of value to me, but you're keeping it because you know that someone gave it to you as a gift. I know it sounds bad, but if it's not serving a purpose and it's not something you love and you don't care for it, get rid of it. Declutter your space with things that are not actually providing value in your life. I'm not telling you to trash it. Turn it into Salvation Army. Whatever you need to do, get rid of it. Don't hold yourself guilty for getting rid of stuff that's not providing value and is actually creating more stress by actually decluttering and dusting. Now let's talk about the items that you purchased that were actually really expensive and you're like, what? I'm not gonna get rid of this. I paid this and this amount of money. I paid $100 for this. I paid $1,000 for this. I know I don't use it. I know it's catching dust and I know it's not providing any value. But this purse right here cost me $2,000 and I'm not getting rid of it. I will let it sit in the closet. And when I have that one event in my lifetime to wear it, at least I have it. No, girl, get rid of it. It's not serving any purpose. If it's not something you're using on a regular basis or it's not something that you actually love and it has value in it, get rid of it. Don't hold yourself guilty for spending so much money on something by actually keeping it because you spent that amount of money for it. If it's not doing nothing for you and it's catching dust, you need to get rid of it. Give it to someone who's going to actually use it, someone who's going to value it to actually use it and make use of that item. And you know what? Change your mindset into thinking, whoa, I spent a lot of money on this and it would be crazy to get rid of it. And change your mindset to thinking, wow, I spent a lot of money on this and I'm not using it, but I can give it to someone who's in need. That's what you should be thinking about and not thinking about the money spent on it. 7, make it a family goal. I can't stress to you how much is important to actually get everyone in your household and everyone around you involved in being more minimalistic and living a simpler life. Get your husband involved. Get your children involved. Everyone that lives in your space, actually incorporate them. Talk to your children. Talk to your husband or your spouse about why you feel that living a simpler lifestyle and a more minimalistic lifestyle will benefit you as a couple and you as parents, and also benefit your children to live a simpler lifestyle. You need to bring that to the table. Take that extra step to get everyone around you involved, because once you're able to convince everyone around you how important this is, guess what? It's going to make it that much easier for you to actually enjoy the journey. And that's where you're going to see the journey is going to really benefit you and your family the most. Play some music, jam, turn it up while you're decluttering. So that way, while you're decluttering, you're enjoying yourself. Make it a positive experience. So something that you're looking forward to actually doing when you're decluttering. For me, I do a combination of playing music, and also I use that time to pray. I'm a firm believer of Jesus Christ. So a lot of times I'll find myself praying during that time, singing and worshiping during the time of decluttering. And I usually wait till no one is home when my husband's at work, because then it's my time to be able to unwind, relax, and actually declutter both physically and mentally. So definitely create a positive attitude around decluttering. So when I think of declutter, I don't think of the stressful process or hours it's going to take me to remove those items out the closet. I think of the time I'm going to spend enjoying the music I love and praying and spending time with God. Also, get the kids involved. Play music. Have them get excited about what they need to do to declutter. Get them involved in the process. And then give them an incentive. When they're done decluttering, say, look, we're going to the movies. And if it's something you want to do every week, label a specific day in the week that you guys are going to declutter, or remove the amount of things that you guys don't need. And label that as the day you clean, and make it something that's going to be exciting, because they know that there's something at the end that's going to work around it that's actually positive, something that they're going to look forward to. If you don't have a positive attitude and you don't bring like a fresh way of actually cleaning and decluttering your home, you're just going to dread doing it. And guess what? It's never going to get done because you don't have a positive mindset about it. Number 9 is maintaining all of that you just did. Cleaning up, decluttering, all of those spaces, both mentally and physically, you need to maintain that. If you're not maintaining those areas and making sure that clutter doesn't build up, guess what? They're going to creep up on you out of nowhere, and you're going to wake up one day and be like, whoa, where did that come from? I just cleaned that yesterday. And trust me, I've been there. Matter of fact, it happened to me the other day. I cleaned out the counter, and literally the next day, I was like, where all those papers came from? I don't know how they got there. You have to make sure that you're consciously making yourself aware that things are building up that doesn't need to be there. Once you make yourself aware and making yourself sensitive to mess and clutter, then guess what? It's going to come to you naturally as things building up. You're just going to remove them and start decluttering, and you won't let it build up to where it was before. It might pick up a little pile, but once you realize it, you'll catch it and nip it in the butt right away. So it's very important that you maintain it. You might want to stay tuned to my next video, because I'm going to be discussing signs that you have too much stuff. Sis, we're going to talk about this. You got too much stuff and you need to get rid of it. And I'm going to show you the signs. All right, guys, I'm going to let you know right now. If you're not already subscribed and you don't already have the notification bell clicked on, guess what? You're not going to get to see any of my new videos that are coming out, letting you know how to live a simpler life.